If you can hear me, put a one in the comment section. We are here and we are excited.
But we got
Smash Bros though. This is your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. Mr. K Bump 20, what's up, bruh?
Man, what it do? It's a good Thursday, man. Football season is here, so every Thursday now has a gamers podcast and a football game, so you can't beat that.
Right. Yeah, I gotta keep up. I'm in a fantasy league now, so I gotta keep up with everything. Matter of fact, I need to check and see if I scored any points. I'm 2-1 so far. Joe Burrow hasn't been doing what it do for me. What's up, Lewis? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, bro. You said, what's up? So we in here, we got a little bit to talk about. Tim Ryan steps down as the PlayStation boss. We're going to talk about that. Let's talk about Nintendo rumors.
Yeah, there was. There was a new rumor pointing to higher graphics. I don't know how much I fully believe in that, but we can chop that up a little bit. It's a portable device. I'm just saying. But I also think what would be interesting, and I didn't have that on the docket. But what I would think would be interesting, something that we haven't touched, is actually the new iPhone. And how they actually they have ray tracing hardware ray tracing in the new iPhone, so that they can actually play AAA games on your iPhone. And I don't have a video, but I actually saw a video of someone projecting onto a screen, playing a game from their iPhone as if it was a PC. So they had a little cooling system that they attached to the iPhone, and they were projecting and playing on the projection screen, and they were using it as if it was a PC. So I think that's just something that we can just talk a little bit about. I think it's very interesting because it also tails into the Switch's power, right? If the iPhone is doing ray tracing, I mean, what does that also say for the Switch 2? So I think that's
talk about the reports that Far Cry 7 is coming to the Switch 2 day and date with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X day one. So that rumor is out there as well. So we got a little bit to talk about tonight. So hopefully, I'm not gonna even say it because every time I say it, we on here longer than I want to be on here. But welcome to the show. Mr. Norris will be here shortly. He lets me know. But welcome to the show, man.
But we got Smash Bros though.
But welcome to the show. We are excited about tonight's little lineup. Right now it's just me and K Bum 20. Hopefully Mr. Norris will be jumping on here soon. But we got Lewis already in the comment section saying what's up. If you are listening, go ahead and let us know who you is and where you be about, and we gonna send you that shout out. But Mr. K Bum, man, what's been good your way, bro?
Man, it's been a week. It's been a little week for me. I don't. I had some other, I guess, responsibilities this week. I had to live the level head life for a little bit. I had
I'm out them weeds or them trees right now.
True.
Yeah, go ahead.
True. But no, I had my 23-year-old, wow, 23-year-old, my 23-month-old niece spent a couple of days with me and the wife during the work week because she was in the process of becoming a big sister. So as she was becoming a big sister, we told my wife's sister that, hey, we'll take the baby, You know what I'm saying? We'll watch her. I know we still have work, but we'll find a way to figure everything out. So since Tuesday night, she was over here. Had plenty fun. Got to learn some new songs. Got a chance to watch some Bluey. Uh, got a chance to got a chance to lose a lot of sleep. So that was
Oh, you got them
that
late
was
like grumblings for food and crying. Oh yeah.
yeah, and just overall being tired. So I understand
Mm.
the life of the parents who are always tired. So yeah, I got a chance to dab a little bit in that doing the work. We usually it's just for a weekend. The me and the wife has it, so we don't have work. So it's easier when you don't have work. But when you have work and trying to take care of a 23-month old, that's very curious and is as tall as can be, can reach everything. So it tends to be a very interesting few days. So I had a blast. She cried when we dropped her off. She wanted to come back with us, but she had to go back home. But we'll get her again. So
So
it was
basically,
a
what you're saying, you spoiled her. That's what you did. Y'all spoiled her.
uh,
Sent her home. That's sad.
definitely she gets my wife gives her everything that she wants. So she's definitely spoiled, but we have so much over here for her, and like I said, we don't have any kids, but everything over here is so much when she comes over. But we love her so.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Well, congratulations, bro. I know you enjoyed that, and it sounds like you making me go back to them days of no, I don't want to go back to them days of no sleep, sleeping on the
No sleep.
couch. Nah, I'm good on that. But anyway, man, yeah, it's been a lot going on in today for me, man. There's a lot of stuff with the church, and uh, so just keep your boy in your prayers, man. Just dealing with a lot there, but it good.
Yes,
Not
sir.
not the church actual, but members, a few of the members, man. So keep your boy lifted up,
Okay,
man, as
definitely.
I'm lifting them up. But the Lord is good, bro. So I'm just excited to be here tonight, man, to unwind and kind of let my mind go and chatting it up with you and Keith when he gets here. But yeah, so uh, have you caught anything before we get into this? You seen that latest Ahsoka?
It's funny because the wife and I just watched it before hopping on the podcast, so we got a chance to enjoy the Ahsoka series, which I am very enjoying very much. I think it's a very good series. I think it's been good from kind of the beginning even to now. It hasn't waned off like some of the other series like Boba Fett. Very waned off and wasn't good and had a terrible ending. This one's kind of kept a good pace. So I did get a chance to check it out. So it's I'm excited. It's still a good series.
Yeah, it was good, man. I enjoyed these. The last three has been really really good. This one was a lot better than the one previous. Uh, he, what's up? What's up, D2K? He said, hey man, he there. Welcome to
Fear
the
the
show.
deer. He's referring to the
Fear the
trade,
deer.
the
Huh?
Milwaukee trade. They're picking up Damian Lillard, and Lillard
Oh,
and
that's right.
Giannis
Oh,
playing together.
forget you,
He's a
D2K, trying to
Buck
come on
fan.
here talking about forget Dame
He's
Lillard
a
going
Buck
over there.
fan.
I know, I forgot all about that. Man, don't be coming here trying to be all slick in the comments, which is hype for your team getting a good player. Y'all gonna be good, bro. Y'all gonna be good. I don't know what
Yeah, they're
y'all
gonna be
gave
really
up,
good.
but y'all gonna be good. Y'all gonna be real good. We
Yeah.
also got Dark Lionel SZ up in this piece. What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. He says, shout out to my family. Hope you're all well. It's 2:40 over here in the UK. Wow. Oh, I commend that, man. I commend you. But welcome to the show, man. Let's appreciate that. But anyway, K-Bum, you want to get into our what you been gaming on?
Yeah, man. Let's do this.
All right, let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming Go ahead, K-Bum. What have you been gaming on, bro?
Yeah. So what I've been gaming on, I spoke about this last time we were on the podcast, but NBA 2K24 came out last week, I believe. About or either a week before that. I'm not exactly sure. I think a week before that. So that's been majority of my time is playing NBA 2K with the homies, grinding on my character, trying to get him up to speed so we can I can take on the sweaties as we call them, the comp players, I guess competition, guys are come out there ready to battle. So I've been doing that most of the time. I did get a little Warzone in, just homies hit me up and I played that for about a day. And then I still getting a little Overwatch in the meanwhile, so I picked that back up as well, kind of breaking up some of the grinding of 2K. I have to get my single player back on. I haven't picked up another single player since I beat the Midnight Suns game, the Marvel's Midnight Suns game. So I have not picked up a single player that I kind of use in between my multiplayer game. So I'm gonna have to find another game to pick up. I think I have a game in mind that I want to do. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it as well, I forgot about this. I need to go ahead and download it. But if you do have the PlayStation Network or the PSN, and you have the PlayStation Plus, they actually have the Callisto Protocol free for the download for I think was it is it next month, October? Yeah, I believe October. The free to download game that comes with your PSN Plus is going to be the Callisto Protocol. If you remember the Callisto Protocol, that was the game that was, I guess, the the spiritual successor to what is that game called? I'm drawing a blank. Dead Space. There we go.
Yeah.
It was actually made by the old Dead Space devs. So kind of the lead guy, led that effort for the Callisto Protocol. It got mixed reviews,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm interested on how I will feel about the game. And so I'm definitely going to try to get a chance to play that. I'm definitely going to download it for free, and then maybe sometime I win a break, I'll get a chance to hop on and play that in between. When I have some more free time on my hands. So that's kind of what I've been gaming on. It wasn't too much since the little shorty was over here. Had to do my responsibilities, so couldn't gain too much, but just got some of that in. So
Okay.
enjoy myself.
All right. It's the same for me. I haven't gotten a whole lot of gaming in this week. Still kind of on the same thing. Street Fighter, Shifu, and that Double Dragon. I do plan to jump back on with Horizon Forbidden West.
Really?
Yes, I plan on. See, here's the thing. I think when I bought it, I only bought it for the visuals. I wanted to see what the visuals look like, and that opening monologue and the little opening introduction to the game was really a buzzkill for me. It honestly took me out of it, and so when you finally get to the part where you can start kind of they kind of take you to the tutorial on how to play and showing you how to do things, and they making you got to follow with the dude following you, and you gathering herbs and all this stuff, is making your bows and everything, and bringing you back up to speed with the controls and everything. I kind of was like it eh, at that time and kind of put it down. So I want to jump back on it and really go ahead and give it a fair shake and put at least a couple of hours into it to get to some action and see if the game going to pick up for me. I think I put it to the side too quick. I went on a little vacation to the little resort, and once we got back, I never really picked it back up. So, and then once that happened, then I went to the church and renovating and trying to get us to the new location and everything. So now I'm like, man, let me pick this game back up in my leisure time and give it a shot and give it a real shake and see if I'm liking it or not. If not, then hey, K Bun was right. I should have kept my money, but But when is Spider-Man coming out? Spider-Man should be coming out here soon, right?
It's October, I believe it is in October.
So I got to get Mario Wonder and Spider-Man next month. That's gonna be stupid dumb. But
If you want to be
anyway,
one of the cool kids, then yes.
yeah. Well, hey. Unlike you, my Switch is hooked up and electricity is flowing, so I might as well turn it on. So
Hold on. Let me look. No, yep, it is hooked up to a power supply, and the HDMI cable is hooked to the TV.
when is the last
Don't do
time
me
your
like
Switch?
that,
When
man.
is the last time your Switch actually been turned on?
Like I said, it is hooked up to a power supply, and
Ah,
it is connected
ah,
to the TV. What
ah.
you saying?
Slap
What you
yourself.
doing?
Hey, y'all hear him in the comment section. Ask K Bum in the comment. When the last time you turned your Switch on, man? I mean, booted it up. Where the screen lit up and showed you that the colors are not
It
fading.
is connected to the power supply, and
So,
and the HDMI is to the TV.
so you
I
saying
don't know what
there's
you want me
potential?
to
You
say.
saying there's potential for it to
I mean,
turn on?
in any moment, I can just turn it on and play
Right,
it.
dude, you ain't right at all. So anyway, uh, we must move on from this because K Bub is really starting to make me feel like he just don't want to give that Switch any love, man. So you ain't turned it on since Splatoon, have you?
Any moment, I can turn it on and play
Oh my
whatever I wanted to
God.
play.
Yeah, we waiting on Keith to get here. We know he here, but I think he may have went into the la la land and we might need to wake him up. So I'm trying to figure out how to get an alert over there to him, but he should be here in a second. But K Bum, man, you ain't right, man. You should be showing that switch. You should just turn it on just for GP, just general purposes. Oh, you seen the light of day? Okay, we'll shut you back off. But anyway, man. So a few things have taken place since last week. We look, y'all, we missed a lot because uh we chose not to have a podcast a few weeks ago, 2 weeks back, and it was a lot that happened that week. We didn't talk about the PlayStation State of Play. We didn't talk about Nintendo's week direct. Yes, I said it. It was weak sauce, but we're not going to go back and dredge all that up. We didn't even talk about what you say, K Bomb, Cyberpunk. We didn't even talk
Yeah,
about that.
the DLC just dropped, and people have been going ham, which I think we may need to revisit the conversation with Cyberpunk because people are falling in love with it either for the first time or the second time.
Is it still $19? I might go get that.
I'm not sure how much it costs. Like I said, I
Okay.
bought mine when it was $9. But
We talked
uh,
about it. We did talk. You
yeah,
you
we
bought it
did.
when it was $9.
Yeah. We bought it was $9. Back when everybody was returning Cyberpunk. It was back when they launched, and it was a crappy game, and everybody was returning, and CD Project Red was refunding people money. Best Buy dropped the price all the way down to about $10, and I bought it
Wow.
at $10, and I said I'll play it when they fix it,
Why you
and
didn't
that's
tell me?
exactly what I did. I waited all the way until they fixed it.
Why you didn't tell me they had some copies for $10, man? I could have had
Because I
some.
did tell you,
Oh,
brother.
you did?
I
Oh,
did.
yes,
Yes,
right, you
yes,
did. And
yes,
I tried to
sir.
go
Yes,
buy and it
sir.
was gone. Yes, right, you sure did
Yes,
tell me.
sir. Yes,
But
sir.
shouts out to you, Nia. Welcome to the show. I ain't forget to give that shout out to you. You know I never do that. Welcome. Yeah, hopefully. Hey, Chariot Gaming in the house. What's up, man? What's up? But hopefully Keith gets in here. Because this is a topic I want to talk about that is definitely up his alley. That's the Nintendo topic. So hopefully he gets here. But yeah, you did tell me about that game being on sale for $9. And when I went to go buy it, it stopped selling for that price. So that's what
Yep.
happened. I remember that. But anyway, so let's jump into this first topic. We're gonna talk about your company of choice, Mr. Jim Ryan. I was gonna say Phil. We've been on Phil so much it felt almost
we,
right to say his name.
bro, we've been on
Uh,
field. Look, if anybody's stepping down, no, I'm just playing.
yeah. So let's pull this in. So this just came in. What was it? Yesterday? Yeah. So
Yeah. Pretty soon, pretty
so the
recent.
boss Jim Ryan is retiring amongst all the controversy and stuff going on with PlayStation being hacked and all that happening. He's stepping down. So the head of PlayStation is stepping down. Sony announced in a press release today. Jim Ryan, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO, is retiring after just 4 years on the job. The massive shakeup in leadership comes as the PlayStation 5 breaks sales records and as Sony has doubled down on uh, prestige blockbuster games like The Last of Us 1 and Marvel Spider Man 2. K-Bum, oh, yeah, we got to get that. So, after 30 years, I made the decision to retire from SIE in March of 2024, Ryan said in a statement. I relish the opportunity to have a job I love in a very special company, working with great people and incredible partners, but I found it increasingly difficult to reconcile living in Europe and working in North America. That's okay. Ryan will officially leave the position in April 2024. Now, Hiroki Totoki, Sony Group
That sounds about
Corporation.
right. That sounds close enough.
Yeah, I
That
thought
sounds
I
close
got
enough.
it. Corporation President, COO, and CFO will help with the transition and take on the role of interim CEO of PlayStation once Ryan leaves, and will help with the search for his successor. The news was first reported by Bloomberg's Jason, whatever his last name is. So, K-Bum, this guy has basically been in tenure of president since basically halfway through the PlayStation 4 into the PlayStation 5. And looking at all the things that have taken place since the PlayStation 5 has launched, how do you feel about his, I guess, his job? Has he done a good job? Do you feel like he was a good president? Being the PlayStation guy here, uh, what do you think about Jim Ryan?
So, so first, let me address about him leaving, stepping down.
Okay.
I'll quickly address that. I don't care. So just want to make sure that we got that out the way really quick. Don't care about him stepping down. Um, but let's quickly talk about Jim Ryan and his tenure as CEO, and what we experienced in his tenure. Really was a kind of different push when it comes to PlayStation. His I don't have the actual article, but I remember him talking about how he wants he wants more people to experience the Sony brand when it comes to the video game side of Sony, right? And so that part of that was the push to PlayStation, as I call it, PlayStation X PC, right? And that we're seeing all these first party Sony games, which are exclusive uh, to the PlayStation brand, being ported over to the PC. And this, I think, this is probably, um, if I have to say, his the biggest legacy that he'll leave during his tenure. I don't know how much of it was his idea. I know a lot when he talked. He talked a lot about the expansion of the Sony brand, giving more people opportunities to enjoy the Sony games. And I actually liked his message, right? My biggest thing, I'm not really big in the console wars. I'm not gonna fight for Sony. If they do something wrong, call it out. I'm not really big in the console war. My thing is, it's consumer first is what how I try to think. And then, yeah, I'm not a defender of these corporations because they're making billions of dollars, and my page, I ain't getting none of that in my paycheck.
They ain't
Uh,
sending you no check at all. No, no currency.
I ain't getting none of them coins. But I did like his message. and I think that'll be his legacy. I think the maybe even there's some bad parts of his legacy, but it's not but a good thing, right? Definitely allowing more people to play PlayStation games is a part of it. I did like the fact that he wasn't afraid to hold back. He wasn't afraid to throw punches at Phil Spencer, especially during the lawsuit. You know, he was very vocal during the lawsuit, saying that Xbox over their line. They when they because Phil Spencer went on and said no, we offer PlayStation, blah blah blah, and then Jim came back and said nah, that ain't how it is. This is how it really is, right? You know, he wasn't a kind of afraid to speak up and hide. He wasn't just hiding behind corporate talk, right? He kind of called Phil Spencer out when that happened. So normally these type of guys will kind of hide behind corporate talk, and they won't really directly call anything out. But I did think that was a good part of him to actually be able to speak out and say that. So I, to me, I think there's more good than bad. You step away some of the bad, which is I think the VR2 is a failed product. And I don't know how much he pushed the VR2, but I really think that's a failed product and has not succeeded under his watch. I think him trying or his push to be more like Game Pass. I don't know if that's paying off. Yes, the PSN has, I believe, the most subscribers, but they just had a price increase,
Yeah.
right? And they're not even offering, I guess, the
What
what
about PlayStation Portable?
that's yet to be seen.
We've
That's
seen
yet to be
enough.
seen.
We've already seen enough. We don't need.
Those are my opinions of it. We
Okay.
will know if it's a success or a failure once they hit the markets. My opinion of it is that it won't be as successful as they want it to be. But I've actually heard people soften more to the idea of the PlayStation Portable as we move forward. As they get closer to launch, I'm seeing more and more people make arguments for it, reasonable, decent arguments for it, and kind of the sentiments have kind of lessened, or softened when it comes to the PlayStation Portal. So
Okay.
I don't, we can't call it a flop yet until we
I ain't.
actually
Nah,
get it on the market.
it ain't over.
But yeah, that's what I kind of think about Jim Ryan. I didn't. He didn't make waves as much as some of the others,
I'm
but
gonna
I
be.
thought he was. I thought he was deficient.
I'm gonna
I
be
thought he did his
honest
job
with you.
well.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When they said he was stepping down, I was like, when did he become the president? Because I remember the big head dude that the big head dude at E3. That's what I was thinking about for whatever reason. Because I don't really keep
Yeah,
up with it.
yeah, yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
was there. I was like, oh, he's stepping down. Okay, that's what's up. And then when I seen this dude face, I was like, who is this dude? Have I ever? Then I was like, yeah, I've seen his face, but I didn't realize that was actually the president of Sony's PlayStation. So I kind of been out the loop on that. I've been out the loop on that part of the biz. He been kind of obscure, just like Bowser has for Nintendo. You don't
That,
see
yeah,
him.
that's true. You don't see
D2K
Bowser at
said
all.
D2K said we don't need a PS5U. uh, so what is a PS5U?
He's referring to the PlayStation Portable to
Yeah,
being
yeah.
associated to the Wii U.
Okay.
That's what
Got
he's
you, big bro.
referring to.
I gotta give you that one on that one. And that's a slap yourself if you ain't allowed to talk that. I didn't catch it. Hey, don't come on there making me look dumb live on the air because I showed that went right over my head. But I don't have no it is what it is. Does it okay, real quick and we can move on. Does it say
Yeah.
that something is going on at Sony that may not be being shared? Because
Uh, continue your point. I want you to continue the point,
no, I'm
and then
just
I'll
saying. No,
give
I mean, I pretty
comment.
much that's pretty much it. Because I was gonna say because first party has. Let's be honest, it's been sparse. It's been Wii U-esque, even though the PlayStation is still selling. We since God of War and that was it was exclusive. But what have we seen from Sony? since God of War
Yeah,
Ragnarok.
yeah. It's been light. I mean, that's honesty. But eh, the PlayStation's in a strong position right now. So
Yeah,
if something's on the horizon, that's the wave is strong enough to get a CEO to kind of step down in that aspect, then it's a mighty strong wave,
okay.
and it's going to be strong. And that's why I don't think that that's the case, right? Because we seen Microsoft flounder since this launch of the system,
Yeah,
right? And then we even seen it even worse this past couple of weeks, right? And so, as the CEO of PlayStation, you're kind of sitting pretty now, right? You
yeah,
you have your deal with Activision, you have your deal for Call of Duty, so you have your game coming to your console. You have some of the rulings on your side. Some of it didn't all go your way, but some of it did. So you're kind of sitting nice, right? So I don't think there's a hidden wave behind the scenes that's gonna topple over the ship.
right.
I kind of a lot of times you do think that when someone in this level steps down, but I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't think that's the case. To be honest with you,
maybe feels like you know what? If y'all want these games, he got to go. he,
oh, Phil don't got that power like that.
he's like
Oh
he was
heck
up there
no.
talking all that yang, all that boss talk. He got to go if he want these games. Sony, he got to get out of here. You're like, bro, you got to retire. I mean, what's kind of crazy to me, and shouts out to you, DJ Fanatic. Welcome to the show, bro. Welcome to the show, man. See you in here. First name basis. Anyway, maybe it's like, man, you was the one talking all greasy, got your company chasing after us, trying to stop this Activision acquisition. You got to go if you want this Call of Duty. So there's like, man, you got to go. What's the excuse? Man, you work over in Europe. How you gonna work in Europe and be the president of the United States of America? Because that's the most weakest. Man, that is a weak reason.
It all depends, man.
That's
I mean, if he's a
that's
family man,
weak.
if he's a family
Well, he
man, and
didn't
he's like
say that.
being at
I'm
home.
just say that. Say I'm a family
I
man.
mean, but it's cold. It's cold. I don't know. I wasn't sold on the reason, but I'm also not Jim Ryan, so I can't say you know what you're. That's not the truth. But it wasn't
It
a
wasn't a good.
strong
That
reason.
that's what
I
kind
agree
of
with you.
that's kind of what
It's not
caught
strong.
me was the reason. Like I can't reconcile working for Nintendo of America while living in Europe. Okay,
I've never done it myself, so I don't know how it does. I don't
but
know how it works.
K-Bub, you can reconcile working at home for your job. You on the computer, you still get. They let you go home for 3 weeks a day, 3 days a week to work from home. It ain't hurt nothing.
Yeah, but I'm also not traveling across the pond.
Okay, the dude ain't traveling like that. Like he ain't got to be at the office. He got people carrying the major stuff. He can come in when he want to. I'm just saying the
I
reason.
mean, we're saying that, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's yeah.
the reason was
I'm in
kind of
agreement with
weak.
you.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm in
all.
agreement with you that it's weak. I'm not jumping to conclusions
I
with
don't.
it,
Yeah,
but
I am.
I am in agreement with you
I
saying that
am jumping to
it is
something.
kind of weak.
It sound like we want you gone, and for what we don't know why, but it sound like Sony's like, man, we want you gone, bro. What I do? We just don't want you here no more.
No,
What's gonna be my excuse? You
he
live in
hasn't done
Europe, man.
anything.
You live in Europe. You coming to work late. You ain't showing up on time. Come on.
Like,
I would have said me.
why
I
he
would
on a bus from
have.
America to Europe?
You late to work, man. You been late to work too much. You get too much. We
Oh
terminating your number.
wow,
But no, my
this
thing is,
dude.
my thing is, he could have said, "I want to spend more time with my family." I've been doing it, but when I saw that it was only been 4 years, so he been with Sony for 30 years, or is he saying I've
Yeah,
been in the
yeah.
workforce? So
No,
he's been
no,
with
he's been
Sony for 30 years and the president for 4.
before
I
for
mean,
those. Yes.
just say, hey, I'm ready to retire. I want to spend time with my family. I got other what did Reggie say? Reggie kind of said all that. I'm ready to do something different. I've been doing this for a while. I want to change the scenery. even though after he retired, he kept talking about Nintendo and still talk about Nintendo. That's been all his interviews. But it was just I can't the whole I can't reconcile like he's convicted about living in Europe and working in
Wow.
America. It's like, bro, bro, come on, man. That is not a real reason. That ain't what you tell us. Tell us your wife was like, I'm tired of you working. You told me he's gonna retire last year. Either get out or it's a divorce. You know, something like that, man. I don't know.
And with that Tom Brady.
Yeah, like Tom Brady. But anyway, man, I don't think we gonna miss him. I don't think he just looking at the time that he's been over PlayStation 4 years, other than the PlayStation 5 launch. I don't know of anything that he's done that his name can ride off into the sunset. Like, man, he
Like I said,
did that.
the PC, the PlayStation, the PC.
Oh, we got to
Like I said,
talk about that. That's him.
that's yeah, that's him. That's him.
Okay, so let's
He's
talk
been.
about that.
But that was my point that I
Okay.
made when I talked. Maybe you weren't paying attention, but
All
no,
right.
that's kind of his thing was that because he talked a lot about that. I believe it was one of the E3s where we were had to be at home, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they kind of interviewed him on a couch or something like that. Maybe it was 2019 or something like that, 2020, one of the E3s, and they kind of interviewed him on a couch, and he was kind of talking about his vision of PlayStation being being played everywhere and
Uh-huh.
not just on a Sony console. So that's kind of been that to me. That's the one thing that he's kind of championed because that's kind of taken a life of his own within the past 4 years actually. So
Okay, that's pretty dope. So they basically, you know, so he saw Microsoft kind of eating on both sides of the fence. So he's like, man,
well,
we need to
Microsoft is both sides of the fence, but
right, but
yeah.
well, I'm just saying from our perspective, Microsoft got their games go to PC day one or close to day and date as they home console release. Now we seeing games like Ragnarok, Last of Us, and is Spider Man going over there?
Spider-Man 1 did, so eventually Spider-Man 2 will.
Okay, that's what's up. So Nia says, I hope PC keeps getting PlayStation games. Yeah, Keith been excited about that as well, man. He said
That is true.
I may get a PlayStation eventually, but as long as they keep supplying these games on the PC, I'm good. So that's the best of both worlds. I mean, okay, that's a dope thing. Anything else you think you mentioned a few other things that you thought he may be accredited
Yeah, but
for, but
I think that's the one thing that will kind of be his legacy is that because that's definitely something that he talked about a lot. So I think that would be his legacy. If there's anything that kind of lasts beyond him, I think that would be kind of his mark on the
and,
Sony industry.
and what you say is lowest thing was?
It's I would say the VR2. I don't think it's just it didn't do anything. It didn't change the market. It was just like, okay, VR
Okay.
two. Here's again no great games for it again. And here's you can we up the graphics and here you go. What the VR phase is gone? Oh, we didn't know that before we shipped this out. So yeah, I think that would probably be the kind of like, come on, man, we didn't really need that, and even if you did, you missed the mark. It should have released very close to the release of the console. It's just 2 to 3 years afterwards, and people have already done other things with their money. So I don't know. I just don't think the VR2 was put in a place to be successful.
Okay. Well, like I said, I guess we're gonna know you're gone. I can't say we're gonna miss you, Jim, but we're gonna know you're gone, and uh, that's about as much you can expect from us. And we thank you for your services. Really didn't even know you was there. You kind of look like the guy over Ubisoft, but
Oh
speaking of
Lord.
Ubisoft, perfect transition. There's been some. I'm sorry, Jim Ryan. Farewell to Jim Ryan. Y'all give him his claps. Farewell to Jim Ryan. You served a good 30 years, 4 years at the top, and you brought PlayStation games to the PC. and a VR system that nobody plays. We thank you for your services. We appreciate everything you have done. PlayStation 5 wouldn't be what it is without you. All right, so let's go on to the next topic. So I saw this kind of come out the other day, and I thought this was interesting. And here lately, we don't typically here on the Live and Level Gamers podcast, we don't typically talk rumors a whole lot. But as rumors pick up steam and seem to be being picked up by reputable, I say, what do you call creators and uh, gaming websites, then we may be like, hey, I think we need to talk about this. So the latest rumor is that Far Cry 7, which is a next gen title, is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 launch date, meaning when the game launches, it will come to the Switch 2 along with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So let's kind of look at this. Nintendo is about as leak proof as any developer, but it can't do anything to control leaks about third-party games coming to its hardware. That appears to be what happened this week, as new leaks suggest Ubisoft is bringing Far Cry 7 to the unannounced Nintendo Switch 2. That would be especially noticeable because none of the previous numbered Far Cry games have been released on Nintendo's consoles. It might also point to the power of the Switch 2. On Wednesday, Insider Games shared new details about Far Cry 7 after previously confirming its existence in January. According to the report, Far Cry 7 is dubbed Project Blackbird internally and is currently scheduled to launch fall 2025. As for the story, Inside Games sources claim it will center around the player trying to rescue their family who has been kidnapped by a conspiracy group currently called the Sons of Truth. It's going to follow the same stuff as always followed. It sounds like an interesting twist. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so that's enough. So this was interesting because, like I said, Far Cry 7 is considered to be a showpiece type of a title. Would you agree, K-Bon?
Showpiece?
Far Cry is considered to be a graphics pushing title. I think that's fair to say. I think it is. Okay, in the comment section, said K-Bon trying to wife, tell K-Bon to be agreeable tonight. Don't do me like this.
I'm I'm
Uh,
not trying to be a hater because there's a reason for my hesitance. For me being hesitant,
okay,
it's a
go ahead.
reason. I don't I don't know if you're giving me space
Yeah,
to
I'm
give
giving
my
yeah,
reason.
yeah, I'm giving it space.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so the reason why I'm hesitant of saying that it's a graphic pushing game is because it's an open world game, and
Okay.
it is hard for open world games to be, pushing graphics when you other to be pushing graphics in kind of the state that you're saying. Now, I'm not saying it's not an ugly game, and it's not subpar graphics. It's good graphics, but it's not. I don't. To me, it's not the same as GTA when they push graphics, or even some of the other
Oh,
games
yeah, yeah.
who try
Well,
to push graphics, because
okay,
it's still open world, so it still
okay.
has to
Let
work
me.
without loading, and so there's still it's still a little bit different, but it definitely a next gen game. Whenever it comes out, it's always a next gen game. It's
Let
not.
me.
It's never subpar. It's never just average. It is good, but it's not like. So Ubisoft did that, but they did it with. It was the first one. It was the first crap. Well, Watchdog, and that was supposed to be the graphic game, right? That was supposed to be the
Okay.
GTA, but that
True.
didn't pan
True.
out because they lied to us. But Far Cry was never pushed like for graphics like Watchdog was. And even later Watch Dogs didn't really push the graphics. So that's why I'm hesitant to
Okay,
agree with that.
I'm going to pause on what I said. And I would steer a different way. It is a not necessarily a showpiece, but a graphically intense game. Is that fair?
I can agree with that.
Okay, all right. So, because I'm looking at D2K sending that hot fire my way, level stops. He said he done gave me two paragraphs. I was like, I must have said something wrong. D2K done gave me two paragraphs. He said it doesn't make sense to me to get excited about games coming to any console. We have seen high fidelity games come to the Switch, and then he said some have been good, some have been really bad until we see specs for the new console. This stuff doesn't move the needle for me. Okay, so Nia said, I don't know about that. To be honest, it's a Ubisoft game. I have a few Far Cry games on PC and they look good, but not showpieces. So I'm going to take the hint that my showpiece labeling is the issue, and I push back. I fall back on that. What I was really trying to say is a graphics pushing game. So I was saying a showpiece in that sense,
Yes,
but
it will. It will.
uh, but I'm gonna pull up some Far Cry 6 and explore this a little bit. So and D2K kind of said it. We all this is kind of just we won't really know until we actually play the game. You know what I'm saying? So
We won't know until we know.
right, we won't know until we know. Perfect way of saying it. So but it does says a lot. I don't know who this is playing. I'm not playing it, y'all. But with everything, I was trying to find one without this dude a face on it. But anyway, I'm not playing live. So y'all, it's just really to look at. I wanted to get some gameplay, but it's all good. So what it does say to me is these rumors are picking up steam about what may be possible with this new Switch, and we hearing a lot of people like EA and different ones saying that they made a mistake with not being there for the Switch when it was earlier on really releasing games on that system early on, and with the new one coming out and the success of the current one, and with everything being said, to hear a rumor like this that has seemingly found a lot of steam because a lot of reputable sources are picking it up. The fact that it's coming and coming day and date, to me, is still noteworthy, if that makes sense. Looking at the game, no, I can see why y'all say it's not a graphical showpiece. But I've always known Far Cry to be a graphic pushing game and something that, is meant to look really, really good. So for you, K-Bum, with everything that's being said about the Switch, are you starting to believe the hype? Or are you still like I believe it when I see it,
Trying to make sure I'm careful with my words because
bro? Bro,
uh,
we real here. There ain't
I'm
nobody
just,
gonna. We done got
I,
out that community. You ain't gonna get bummed out.
somebody gonna bring. No, I'm talking about somebody gonna bring it back and say, "See, K-Ball, when you said this." So I'm just
Right.
so no. Okay. All right. So I'm I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet, and I'm going to explain why a little bit later. But uh, I do think this is great news because one of the biggest issues wasn't just the Switch doesn't push graphics; it's the fact that the Switch doesn't have those games, right? And the fact that we're already getting agreements from some of these third party developers that they're going to release, which is, like I said, is a very hard thing to do, which is day and date, which is very few games on the Switch has ever done that. We saw one of them last week, which is MK1, and good lord. But it's not an easy thing to do for the day and date because of the big differences between what the Switch can handle and what those current gen games, I guess it's current gen now, what the current gen systems can actually do. So
Okay.
the fact that we had this agreement already that they're going to be releasing at the same time, the same date, there's going to be no fluff. It'll be completely against one each other as far as the consoles goes. I think this piece is great news. I think that's the biggest, to me, the biggest takeaway from this is the fact that they're releasing the games at the same time.
Okay.
I have some pushback on the second part of it, but I'm gonna let you get your thoughts first, and
No,
then
go
I'm
ahead.
want
What was
to.
your pushback on the second
No, no,
part?
no, no, no. I want you to go ahead and get your thoughts, and I want to because I want to tie it into something else. So I want to
Okay.
let you go ahead and
So
get your thoughts about it.
I think this is a good thing because it to me it's if this is true, this is still rumor, so we still got to treat it like a rumor, even though it's coming from what is considered to be a reputable leaker that's been right a few times, but well, a lot of times from what I saw. I think it is a good thing because it speaks to early third party support. That's K-Bun. That's been one of your biggest critiques of Nintendo is their third party support being lackluster. I remember we had that who is actually number one, and we had the tiers, and we got to the third party, and you mopped the floor with it, and because it's the truth. Nintendo, even though the Switch has enjoyed good third party support, it pales in comparison to Sony and Microsoft. Nintendo hasn't seen that level of third party support since the Super NES. It hasn't been since the Super Nintendo days. Then Nintendo has seen like flagship third party titles day one on their platform. So if that is a possible return for the
Yep,
next Switch, that can't be nothing but positive news. And to
absolutely.
me, it should point to truth, which we go to the second part here in a second. It should point to some validity with these rumors. If this is true, it's pointing to one or two things. Either the Switch impressed them so much with the sales, and they believe that the second one is going to duplicate that, or, which I would believe it'll be the latter, they've seen the Switch 2 and are impressed with it legitly with what it can do, and from that, and coupled with the sales of the Switch, these third party companies are like, we gonna try to be there day and date, cause even though they did great with the Switch, that's no guarantee. It's Nintendo. There is no guarantee that they'll make the right decisions with the Switch 2 or whatever the heir apparent is. So, D2K said, I think it's a little of both. I agree. But go ahead, K Bum. You wanted to add something to that second part of the topic?
Yeah. So actually, there's another piece I want to add before I get to my point.
Okay.
Um, what's interesting is that this is coming from Ubisoft. And we do know that Ubisoft and Nintendo have gotten pretty cozy during the Switch lifespan. The fact that they've even used Nintendo characters in the Ubisoft game, right? And so that speaks to a relationship unlike others, right? So that's pretty cool, but I hope other third parties are doing the same. But Ubisoft and Nintendo are, they're kind of rubbing shoulders with each other, and they're enjoying their success together, right? But I do want to throw something else into this. So we talk about how this may shape up to be the fact that Far Cry 7 is coming to the Switch, that it may speak to the power of the Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
What have I told you that I don't know if that fully if that statement is correct? Why? Because Ubisoft is also releasing their brand new Assassin's Creed game on a phone. And that's actually one of the topics in the fact that the iPhone, iPro,
Let me pull
and
that up.
iPro Max are actually going to get both the new Assassin's Creed game with ray tracing running at 30 frames per second, and also the new Tom Clancy uh, uh, um, division game, whenever it comes out, and I think 2024 or 25, it's going to come out with ray tracing as well. And I believe 30 frames per second. And also, there's a deal with Capcom that they're later this year, they're going to release Resident Evil 4 again, AAA type of game, graphic. And like I said, it's not going to be the highest graphics, but it's going to be a console level type of graphics on a phone, which
So I
is
got it
going
up.
to
I got
be.
the article up right here. So it says, while ray tracing could make the iPhone 15 more fun for gaming, faster, sharper. So it says your next iPhone could soon perform much like a gaming console. The iPhone 15 Pro runs on the brand new A17 Pro chip, rich with a special emphasis on enhanced GPU capabilities. This advanced Pro class GPU features a fresh six-core architecture, which Apple claims boosts the performance and energy conservation. The device promises a GPU performance that's up to 20% faster and induces hardware accelerated ray tracing for the first time. Ray tracing provides better level design, better gameplay, and as a result, better user experience. The performance relation manager at how you say P? I can't say that. I ain't even finna try. At my games, told LiveWire in an email interview, Apple has been saying for years that we can expect unexpected quality and gameplay in our pockets, and to be able to bring an ultra realistic feel to games. Get out of my face here. Games through advanced lighting techniques like ray tracing means Apple can more effectively deliver on that promise. Unveiled at the recent Apple Wonderful Wonderlust event. That's a terrible name. Wonderlust? That sounds like something that shouldn't be. Anyway, the iPhone 15 Pro will feature an array of AAA games such as Native Edition of Resident Evil 4, Remake Native Editions, Resident Evil Village, Death Stranding, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Apple also bragged about significant performance enhancements and the introduction of ray tracing for an improved gaming experience on the iPhone. I think they have an example here. I'm gonna play this real quick. Oh, they just this is so let me y'all see it. Uh, so now, but okay, you're right. But K-Bum, as technology is getting better and better and better, and
Mhm.
when you have uh companies like Nvidia and others who are figuring out ways. Uh, Wanderlust is the desired travel. Okay, I got you. It just sounded funny when it said it right there. Uh, when you got Nvidia and different ones coming up with this AI stuff that's able to manipulate things to pull off stuff that typically would need massive power. We're in a new age of technology. So to me, to see this in ray tracing on an iPhone only speaks more volumes to the truth of what's being said about the Switch. That is producing the Switch 2 possibly being able to produce visuals that are comparable, not on par, but comparable to current gen PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Now, one rumor is that the Nintendo Switch 2 is equally as powerful as the Xbox Series S, and maybe even more powerful, depending on what rumor you read. So
Well, the S is not even more powerful than the Xbox One X.
I know I was finna add. That's
It,
what I was saying. If
okay,
it's
okay.
if the base power is an Xbox Series S, and then you add on Nvidia's deep learn deep sampling technology, DLSS is a
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
DLSS, then that can take that base level and bump that up and make it look even better than it really actually looks. So
Right.
that's where the advantage with the new technology would take place. So
Correct.
I'm thinking as we hearing more and more about these games, we seen a leak of Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to the Switch and possibly the next generation system. What it's saying to me is one, Nintendo must have moved a lot of eyes with the Switch on third party. Like that must have really
130 million.
yeah. So that coupled with whatever Nintendo is showing behind the scenes says to me that some of these rumors, the smoke ain't coming from no small twig. This is some real. There must be a fire behind the scenes really happening. That's what I'm saying. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point, right? And the fact that, well, we're bringing up the point that a mobile device, which is not unlike what the original Switch was based off of, which was a mobile device, a mobile
Gaming
what
device.
do they call that? It was the
Arm chip. That stuff. What?
yeah, the chip was based off a mobile chip, right?
Okay.
So the fact that
Low power consuming. Yeah. Yeah. I just say. Go ahead.
the fact now that the phones are able to produce ray tracing, which is a feat on its own. Again, it says what the possibilities that are there for mobile type of gaming. And I think that positions the Switch, if they can make sure they are working hand in hand with NVIDIA. Hopefully, that's what they're working with. That's what it sounds like, and they can execute that DLSS3 and be able to produce those high graphics. It does give some credence to the fact that they may be able to pull something off. That they may be able to have that ray tracing, which is crazy, but that's kind of one of the rumors that they can pull off that ray tracing on a mobile device because Apple, who themselves design their own chips, right? The Apple nano chips that are created by them, right? They're not going to IBM or Nvidia with it, but they've been able to construct their devices to be able to handle 30 frames per second ray tracing. So if this Nintendo team can work with Nvidia and be able to reproduce similar magic, if not at a greater uh,
Capacity.
scale, yeah, big capacity, a greater scale. I think this may be a winner if they can do that and still have that, which Apple doesn't have, that Nintendo charm, right? And this may be another success story and similar liking to the Switch. So like I said, I do think that kind of, but I just found it funny that we talked about how this may mean these powerful graphics. Well, it also may mean, yeah, like how the iPhone does it, right? Which is, you know, uh, good, but it's not as of yet
I actually
gaming
seen
console.
a game being played on the iPhone 5. I'm gonna look for that, but yeah, I'm gonna read this real quick with D2K. He said, "I think that the landscape of gaming is changing, and third parties realize that in this new economy, the status quo is not sustainable. You need to get your product in front of as many eyes as I hope I'm giving you credence, D2K, possible." And I agree with that. I agree with that. But I also believe that for this next generation, I think that the Switch really just listen to what they saying. They regret not being there on this device that moved 130 units, and it wasn't a fluke like the Wii. This was not no Wii situation where it had a gimmick that ran its course long before the system was replaced. The Switch is still, it's just now starting to lose
It,
steam.
it's slowing down. It's
It's
not just
slowing
started.
down.
It's been slowing down, but
It's been,
it's not a
well,
rapid pace. It's not a
that's what I'm
rapid
saying.
pace.
It's just, that's
It's not
what I
a
meant
rapid.
by it.
It's not a
Like,
cliff. They haven't
it,
fall off a cliff. How about
right.
that?
That's why I said just now really starting to show is losing the steam. But that's 130 million systems later. This thing
Right.
been going pretty much strong the whole life. It has reached pretty much total saturation. Everyone that wants a Switch has it. Everyone who wants a Switch currently has it. And looking at the software sales of over a billion, man, they like, I think third party like, man, that's why they putting all on their late. Because even if no more Switches sell, there's 130 million people that may be interested in that ugly Mortal Kombat 1 travesty milk, spoiled
Ooh,
milk,
Lord,
melted
Lord have mercy. Melted ice
ice
cream.
cream,
Lord
sauteed
have mercy.
onions that they put on there. You know what I'm saying? But it's still gonna sell enough to where it may be worth it. Red Dead Redemption may sell enough with that many consoles out there or systems out there in the wild that it may be worth it. So I see that even now they like, man, it's valuable to put something on the system even this late into the system's lifespan. And with that, you might be like, and we need to be there early on the next device. And so Nintendo is really in a good spot. But I'm gonna look for this K Bum this game running on I think an iPhone 5. I think I've seen this. Let me look and see if I can find it. But go ahead and take the floor real quick and I'm gonna see if I can find this. Cause it kind of speak well to what you were saying.
I know there was a video of someone running. I believe it was Resident Evil 4. I don't know if that's the game that you
It
want to
may be.
showcase, but yeah, and it was running with ray tracing 30 frames per second. But another piece that got me thinking was, and there has been rumors beforehand. There have been rumors of Apple getting into the console gaming space, and this push to their devices, their phone devices at this point, being able to, which their iPads don't even do that as of yet, but that their phones can push this the hardware accelerated ray tracing. Does that speak to a bigger venture for Apple that could lead them into the home console space, or rivals to Nintendo into the hybrid market space? Uh, do we think that gaming is big enough for Nintendo to have a direct competitor, which would be a mobile gaming competitor, instead of the home console that Sony and Xbox kind of corner the market on? 'Cause that'd be very interesting. I know we do have the Steam Deck, which is it's not a direct competitor because it is PC and it is working off of Steam, so it's not a direct competitor to to the Switch. It is similar in like, but it's not a direct competitor. But what if we had four systems, and instead of having a dedicated home console, we had someone who was pretty much vying for the same I guess group of people, which are the people who enjoy the mobile hybrid gaming. We had another person jump in and take that space. I find it interesting, and a good thought experiment, but I just wonder if gaming is big enough for that.
I mean, yeah, because I'm looking at what D2K said, and I remember we used to argue if Nintendo would survive, and we wanted the box under the TV back. And it seemed like Nintendo, with all these devices, and let's be real, Nintendo was not the first. So let's not act like Nintendo created this new hybrid space. But Nintendo branding made it what it is today. It took it to, I use Jordan as an analogy. Yeah, the NBA was there before Jordan and Larry Bird and Magic did some great things to bring it to the forefront, but it was Jordan that made it what it became. That what LeBron and Kobe and all them, Steph Curry and all them are enjoying the fruits of Michael Jordan. To be honest with you,
Right,
so
right, right, right.
with the shoe deals and all that type of stuff, that's Mike. So in the same sense, Nintendo taking on the hybrid nature in gaming and putting their branding and their IP on a system of that ilk has created a form of gaming that I think gamers are like, I like that. Like me and you was just talking about, K-Bum. We both went on vacation. We both tried to take our PlayStation with us on a trip. And bro, it was not a good experience. But the Switch is simple as and easy. It's just it don't take much room in your bag. I can fit all my accessories in my bag. I can't even fit. I only can fit the PlayStation in my bag. That's the only thing that can go in one bag is the PlayStation. I can fit everything I got with my Switch in one bag and still have room for PlayStation controllers and anything else I need for my PlayStation. So, and when we went to the resort, I end up hooking up the Switch. I had the PlayStation hooked up and they played it, but we end up mostly playing the Switch. And so I believe that this is a new space that is becoming, may end up being the choice if the visuals can measure up. That's the only thing the Switch doesn't have right now is the visual fidelity that we really want. But with what we seeing, like what we're looking at right now, you're literally seeing, I think this is Resident Evil Village running on an iPhone 15. You looking at it. And no, does it look as good as probably the PlayStation 5? Heck no, it doesn't. But it doesn't look shabby at the same time. It looks pretty good. So if this can be done on the Switch and maybe even better, K-Bun, we that may be game changer. That may be game changer because of the functionality of the system, the play and go and continue to play. Look, Sony is trying to give their fan base and their consumers on the go experience. Why? I'm pretty sure a lot of the pressure is coming from Switch and what Switch can do. And like I said, I be at the job. I work at a college campus. I see Switches all the time, sitting on tables alongside homework books and laptops. I see Switches. So it's like D2K said, it's no longer a blue ocean. It is the ocean right now. It is the preferred way to play. Not that, I mean, I think the sales speak for itself, and the who's that's buying it, not kids, but young adults, college students are finding their gaming itch on the Switch, and they enjoying it. That's why these third parties are showing up. So go ahead, man. Anything you want to say later next, and then we can move on and we can wrap it up.
No, don't have anything else to add. I think we've done a pretty good job of kind of addressing the pieces that was interesting to me in the stories, especially with Apple and the ray tracings. I just think that's very interesting that they're doing this, and I am myself enjoying my new iPhone 15 Pro Max. I think they did a pretty good job with this phone. It is very fast and very efficient. I'm not going to get into the Apple versus Android fight because I'm just going to enjoy my phone. You enjoy yours. But I just think it's interesting that Apple is kind of going this direction, and the fact that they have backing, backing with Ubisoft and Capcom with providing these AAA games to this mobile device. So, like I said, I think D2K said it as well, where these third-party developers are kind of seeing that. If you also paid attention to Stadia, Ubisoft was very active on Stadia as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Ubisoft games were available on Stadia, and so Ubisoft has kind of learned that maximize that portfolio and kind of
Mm-hmm.
get it in multiple places. You see Sony following suit with the PC as well. So even to maybe another place where Xbox is trying to do that, even from a whole different viewpoint, where they're trying to get you to play anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely trying to maximize the amount of people that can play the software, because I think that may be the direction that we're going to. That software becomes way more important than hardware. So
Right.
that's my point.
And I add this last bit in there with Nintendo third party support is it was never the top tier AAA titles. And here as of late, most of the rumors that are starting to show up are the top tier AAA third party titles. Now I have a quick so that to me that speaks volumes for if this is all true. And it seemed like what we heard with Epic, what we know Epic said, and this announcement did come from a Ubisoft source. This was not some. It was Ubisoft themselves saying it. So yeah, it is interesting. I would also ask this: do you think, and this just be me being, do you think that Matrix demo can run on the iPhone 15?
I It didn't run well on the PlayStation, so I think it can run. The question is, run well.
Right.
I think the biggest issue with running well was the collision system. The collision system was very poor, and so you had really bad lags with if you ever crashed a car that you were driving at high speeds. But uh, do I think it can pull it off? I do. I think maybe to a lesser extent on what it can actually perform. It is a powerful phone, and it definitely probably is more powerful than the Switch, which the original Switch at this point, because that is a very old architecture at this point.
I would say it's
So
the
I
same. It's probably way more powerful because there's phones out there was out at the time that was more powerful than the Switch. But I would say
yeah,
this dude to me because of the dedicated gaming nature of whatever is coming next. Seeing something like this makes me more confident of the rumors about the next Switch. Cause looking
got
at
it.
this K Bum on the iPhone 15, that don't look bad at all. That looks better
It
than
doesn't.
any, that looks better than anything we playing on the Switch currently. Like to see they playing, I guess is that Call of Duty or what? That don't look bad at all, man. At all. Now I know that's probably a 5-inch screen, 5 6 inch screen. It's smaller than the Switch, so it got to be like five full inches.
It's the Pro is 6.7.
So 6.7 inch
And then
screen.
the regular the Pro Max is 6.7. The regular one is 6.1.
Okay, so it ain't a huge screen, and but looking at it from here, it definitely looks better than anything we done seen on the Switch. So if the Switch 2 is putting out this level graphics, and let's say the NVIDIA deep sampling, uh, deep learning sampling is pushing it even farther, bro, I'm scared what that's gonna do. Like I said, I'm starting to believe that it's true. This makes me believe it even the more, seeing what's going on here, and yeah, I'm starting to believe the hype, man. I'm holding my enthusiasm. I'm not finna go crazy, but I do feel like there's truth to this stuff, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So anything else?
No, I think that sums up. I think that's a good place to end. To be
Okay.
honest.
All right. Well, that was the show for tonight. I want to thank everybody that tuned in on tonight. I thought Keith may jump in, but he wasn't able to make it tonight. I want to send a shout out to Miss Mia, DJ Fanatic, D2K. Who else in here? Lewis, Dark Lionel, SZ, and all the rest who jumped on, who is listening live. We thank y'all for tuning in tonight. I'm gonna let my boy K-Bum sign out. Go ahead, K-Bum.
No, man. I enjoyed the podcast today. I enjoyed the comment section. I know it's good reading the paragraphs that D2K leaves as comments.
Novels.
The novels he leaves as comments. No, but it was a good podcast. I thought I enjoyed the topics, and I thought it was a good, well-rounded conversation, and I enjoyed the participation by those in the comments. So yeah, good times.
I be feeling like I need to move my tassel to the left of my hat and throw it up in the air when I get done reading D2K paragraph. Like I graduated something. Like, yeah, I passed, man. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed y'all in the comment section. We actually made it pretty early this time, K-Bum. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Hopefully the Lord's will. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll see you on the flip side of Thursday night. Till then, people, deuces.
But we got smashed, bro. But we got smashed, bros, though. But we got